Hello, Earth signs. I am finally back to pick up where we last left off with this new year reading and just what's coming in for this new year. What are the energies that are going to be in play? And what we've been doing is just kind of going through the different elemental um, zodiac signs. We already covered fire. Now we're going into the collective for the earth signs. That's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And we're just looking at what are the general themes, that are kind of coming in for this next year, for 2022. And then we're going to go into some more specifics once we get through water signs and air signs. For each individual sign, a message, kind of an overarching theme for what's coming in. But right now we're looking at the collective energy for the earth signs as a whole. And I do want to recap kind of really briefly where we were at before we dive into, kind of carrying forward that reading. But first, I wanted to just talk about some downloads that have been coming in. I really got a lot of channeled information that came in for you all. And one thing that came in very, very strongly was I really felt this strong need, and I still do, to do smoke cleansing before I do this reading. And I did a real lengthy, solid smoke cleansing of my environment using myrrh, white yarrow, and rose geranium. I offered up some tobacco to spirit. I'm offering up some eucalyptus right now just to clear the air. And I feel like there is some clearing of the air that needs to happen for you all. And I think that is very, actual, as in doing smoke cleansing of your environment, of yourself, and just a need also to offer some smoke to your ancestors. Ancestor energy was coming in really strong. You can do that with tobacco, or any sacred herbs, really, even those that, just have personal meaning. I'm going to offer up some tobacco right now. I like to work with tobacco a lot because my ancestors I have Comanche ancestors, and that was another thing that came through really strong right before I did your reading. Was I felt really called to put on my medicine bag. I felt called to wear my, my beaded earrings. And there was just this really, really loud, piece that came through that wanted to be heard about the rainbow warrior prophecy. And I thought it was really interesting because it's an earth story and it's in the native tradition. And you can look it up, look for Sun Bear. And Sun Bear, has some stuff online where he talks a bit about the rainbow warrior prophecy and what that's about. But it's basically a time of unity when people of all backgrounds, all races, all colors, everybody comes together and unifies to bring healing to the land. And it's like this beautiful message of hope and reconnecting with the land and bringing a time of peace, peace and prosperity. And I feel like very much so, this has an important piece for you, not only on a higher level, but also on just a very day-to-day mundane level. On a higher level, I feel like there's stuff coming up that needs to be healed And that's part of the need for the smoke cleansing and to reconnect with your ancestors, you know, and give them offerings, feed them smoke. You can give them spirit candy, you know, with tobacco. And if you don't smoke, it's okay, you know. I don't smoke. I used to smoke and I stopped. I haven't had a cigarette in like, I think it's been like 27 years, almost 27 years, long time. So, you know, I like to get cigars and I light them and, you know, use them like a smoke cleansing wand, you know, but it's a very, very sacred offering, okay? That really anything, you know, that your spirit feels called to. But it's very interesting that this native piece came in. So, and native, you know, tribes are so connected, right, to the earth and its cycles. And I feel like you are earth, right? Your earth energies, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So I feel like there's this real strong piece coming in about, you know, in order to find unity within yourself and unity in the situations that you're dealing with, because I feel like you're dealing with some situations that are, you know, you're feeling it, like you're feeling it in your heart. You're feeling it in your heart. And it's intense at times. And there's times that you need to be able to like drop back in and come back into your body, you know, make contact with the earth and feel the support that's there. And just noticing nature and the way there's this beautiful balance in nature that, you know, times of fallow are always followed by times of harvest, you know, and the way that life moves in cycles. And there's just a great peace that can come over you when you spend time in nature and giving back to nature. Expressing gratitude in that way is also a beautiful way to enter the flow of energy, you know, that helps you align with your purpose and what you're here to do and what kind of healing work you have to do and how you can, you know, pay that healing work forward, you know, in the expression of your earth walk, how you share what you learned from your healing with other people, you know, that can lift them up and bring them together, and looking at your life through that, you know, grid, you know, that window in the grid where you consider what energy you're contributing, and is the energy you're contributing, is it for that unity, you know, that bringing together of energy, you know, or is it divisory? And how is that a reflection of the internal process and what's going on inside? Places where you feel divided but you want to feel united, right? Maybe places where you feel pulled in two directions, like this piece was coming in really strong. And you may want to also explore some of those different herbs that I brought in, because I don't always feel called, you know, to work with those, but it came in very strongly. So that was eucalyptus, white yarrow, rose geranium, and also myrrh. Okay, so you might want to look at, you know, some essential oils, or if you're able to, you can go out and, you know, ethically harvest some, you know, or work with their tinctures. You know, there's lots of different ways that you could explore that. But I feel like these plants, you know, came through for you. Earth energy is coming through for you. And there's really this need for you to find sustenance and support and nurturing from the earth, and to spend more time like in nature, you know, just really connecting with the land. And it's going to help you a lot with what's coming in, and just get really grounded and rooted for what's coming in. Because where we left off in the reading is that you're in a place where things are going to start moving and really fast, okay, with this Eight of Wands energy. And we're going to see that happen most likely, you know, by the start of spring, you know, pretty close to around the start of spring, end of winter, all right? Give it about a couple months, okay? But you're really going to start to see things moving fast. There's going to be communication coming in. There's going to be movement where things have been kind of gridlocked and in a holding pattern. There could be romantic opportunities, and there will also be important messages, possibly travel, okay? And this will all be coming in very, very quickly, you know, with this Knight of Wands energy. And with Knight of Wands energy, we're looking at like passion and purpose in moving forward, okay? So this is something you're really on board with, you know? And it's the Judgment, okay? This is like, this is a new chapter that's opening up for you, that is arising up out of the places that you had to heal in this really, you know, looks like difficult cycle that you have moved through. And just to kind of really briefly recap, I don't want to get too caught up in looking at the past, okay? And I feel like that's also a big message for you all. Like, don't get too caught up in the story of what happened. Stay present. Keep moving with the energy, you know, that is coming in for you right now. But I see that in the past, you know, things, you know, went sideways on you real fast. There may have been real sideways communication. You learned something that, you know, was kind of like having the rug pulled out from under you. There may have been difficult news, difficult words exchanged. I am reading for a collective, okay? So I'm going to approach this by just bringing in lots of different scenarios. I covered all those in the last video, so this is just like a really brief recap. If you want more detail, please, you know, tune into part 12 where I really dive into all of that. But there was this message that came through that this might have, it was definitely somebody's story, okay? Somebody needed to hear it. But there was this message that came through about possible pregnancy, a loss of pregnancy, a miscarriage, or really wanting to conceive and having issues with that, having, you know, challenges around fertility, some kind of disappointment, you know, around a child, or a hope for a new beginning, okay, that was supposed to bring a lot of happiness. And this being a very disillusioning experience. It could have even been something like the hope for a marriage, you know, a union with this Hierophant energy that came in. And I am calling out the signs. Don't get really stuck on signs, okay? Signs are just an energy, okay? And they're there to help you connect with the feel of the message that's coming through, okay? The time when the signs would more be applicable is when it comes up with court cards. When we're looking at major arcanas, we're really looking at archetypal energy. So it's like anybody can embody those signs. And when it comes to these signs also, and with these readings, if you are sun, moon, rising, Venus, or north node, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, these readings will likely resonate with you too. Those are strong placements, okay? So anywhere where you have earth signs strongly aspected in your natal chart can have this message resonating for you, because this is a collective read here. But with this Taurus energy, with the Hierophant, okay? It could be like the hope for marriage, right? The hope for a serious commitment, the hope for a home, you know, a home that you can build with a partner, you know, something like this, you know. So it shows that there was some great hope, and there was promise. It looked promising, and there was a lot of happiness and joy around that with the sun energy, which is associated with the sign of Leo. But then, you know, some disillusioning news came in, and the growth in the Seven of Pentacles reversed, stopped in this situation. And, you know, a lot of conception energy came around this. So it's possible it could also be like a creative project you poured a lot of time and energy into, like an entrepreneurial project, something that was really, you know, it was like close to your heart, you know, you really put yourself into it. You were passionate about it. And it kind of didn't pan out the way you thought it would. Um, and you were sort of in a process like kind of spending more time alone, kind of nurturing yourself, you know, and tending to your healing around this situation. But we also saw that some news, you know, was about to come in, and that you were heading into kind of a fertile cycle with your projects, okay, but also actual fertility. So it looked like you could receive positive news of a pregnancy if that's what you were aiming for, or some kind of positive turnaround in that regard, right? And that's what led us up to here, like this new beginning. All of a sudden, things were going to start opening up, okay? Things were going to start moving, and this was the judgment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all of these cards and we're going to put them all back in the deck. We're going to start with a completely fresh deck. And because we took a break, and I feel like that's also part of the message for you all too. You needed to take a break, you know. You're still in the process of taking a break. You're still getting your bearings from everything you've had to kind of like assimilate that's gone down, you know, over the past year, and especially recently, you know, in relation to this situation. We also just got through the last of the Saturn square Uranus fuckery that plagued us throughout, you know, 2021, just bringing the unexpected, difficult experiences, you know, experiences that were like curveballs. And we just had that, you know, culminate and come to a close, along with the closing of a solar eclipse season and a lunar eclipse season. Like, we've had a lot of stuff wrapping up. And I feel like that's also what's been going on with you all. You've been wrapping things up, you know, seeing what is what, you know, looking at it honestly, kind of taking things on the chin that needed to be taken on the chin, and sort of like getting your bearings and like setting your sights moving forward. And you needed a break. You needed a break, you know, to just digest things, to digest your experiences. I'm going through, I'm making sure there's no reversals in this deck. I want to start with completely fresh deck, completely fresh energy, because now we're going to look at what is this fresh energy coming in, right? What is this new chapter opening up for you all? What is it going to bring you? And just ask Spirit to let the messages come through clear, concise, easy to understand, with counsel that is able to be integrated and effective for supporting the collective earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, in moving forward in alignment with their purpose and what will bring them true fulfillment in their lives. And I ask Spirit to please cleanse me and make me a clear conduit for the messages. Let none of my personal biases get in the way. Just clear out all my energy so the messages can come through with great clarity, and I may deliver them as you see fit. Amen. Ashe. Okay, so let's see what's coming in here. What are these new opportunities coming in for the Earth sign collective? Ooh, okay. Well, right off the bat, first thing that flew out, a tower, okay? So what I want to say is that sometimes a tower needs to come in to clear the way. Kind of think of it as like a road opener, you know, ironically, which was also something that I had kind of considered suggesting to you all as a potential working you could do. Woo! Yes on that. There's the magician right there. you might want to, you might want to open your road, okay? And it looks like there is something coming in that's going to open your road with that tower. I want to get some more clarification on that, kind of see what is the basis of this tower energy that's coming in. A tower is when something's false, like you've built something on shifting sands, right? It doesn't have stability. And there's a couple cards that came out here as the basis of the matter. We got 3 cards here. All right. Okay, so first thing we got here is the title card for the deck, and this card I've attributed a special meaning to it. It means if wishes were horses, the dreamers would ride. Now when we look at horses, we're also looking at matters of power. It is the totem medicine of power. It's also the totem medicine of movement, forward progression, okay? This horse is also very fiery, okay? So I also see it as representing fire signs. It's that fire sign energy. It's that fast moving, expansive, excitable energy. So we may be looking at Leo energy here because the Sun card did come up earlier too. And the Sun card is a Leo archetypal energy. So Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries energy can be associated with this, okay? And I see that another vote for, Sagittarius with this Temperance card here, okay? And a desire to find balance with a fire sign. Something's been out of balance, in this situation. It feels like it's been a big burden, okay? And there's something you're carrying that's weighing heavily on you in regard to this situation. And I think that there's disappointment here. You expected to see more growth, but I want you to kind of look at this energy right here. It's like, how can there be growth when you feel so burdened? If you're carrying the weight in a relationship, and there isn't reciprocation. If you're, look at that, this one person's really weighed down, how are they going to stop to nurture any growth, right? I see that a lot of this has to do too with value, this Temperance is standing on this diamond here. There's been an understanding of my value, my worth, and she holds in her hands this 2 of Cups, and look at the energy flowing between those 2 of Cups. It's a reciprocal energy. Both are filled, right? And that's kind of the goal. So I feel like you've been kind of not really getting met in some connection, that you had kind of a higher vision for, you had higher hopes for. And there's something you need to get off your chest. Because look, they're holding these stones over their chest. There's a lot of guarding going on here too. There's a lot of defensiveness. And there's some kind of burden you're carrying around this as well. There's something you need to get off your chest. I think this is kind of like a central theme, okay? Temperance is all a card about needing to find balance in a situation. And I feel like this is a balance of give and take. I also feel like there's something that you're holding inside and that you're not laying down these burdens, and it's starting to be too much to carry. And, if you don't lay it down soon, it's going to break you. You have to open up. Yeah, very much so with this World card here. I just wanted to get clarification on that right off the bat, okay? That's bringing things to completion. Something has not been completed properly here in this connection with this fire sign. Or somebody who presents themselves, okay, like a fire sign. They could have a fiery placement, in their chart. But this is somebody, that they'd have charisma and energy and passion and drive, and be a very kind of dynamic sort of individual, right? Have kind of a sort of a dynamic energy. We all know what fire signs are like, all right? And Sagittarius is coming up here. We already had Leo come up in the reading. This is the basis of the matter. And seeing right here that we have this tower, I think that there's a tower energy coming in, you know? What was false needs to be brought down, you know? You can't build something on a lie. This is what's coming through. You can't build something on what's false. You know? You can only stand on the truth. All right? So there's something here that wasn't put on the proper foundation. And that's why there hasn't been the growth. All right? And I see that there's like this, you know, magician, okay? New beginning energy wants to come in, all right? But it's before that new energy can come in, you really got to bring this situation to completion. You have to unburden your heart. You have to lay down what you've been carrying. You got to put down the burden, whatever that burden is, whether it's guilt because I should have said this or should have handled things like that, or if it's anger that you need to express, or if it's a truth you held in, you know, whatever it is, there's a need for you to, you know, put down the fucking bags, right? And do what needs to be done to bring balance into the situation, you know? There's opportunity to bring balance in the situation and complete that cycle, okay? And then there's a new beginning here. Yeah, because there's been a lot of, toxicity in this situation with this devil energy. This is like acting out of lower nature shit, you know? And it's also brought a lot of arguments, all right, with this Five of Wands energy. And this is definitely like a too many cooks in the kitchen kind of energy here, all right? But see, what wants to come in is this Ace of Pentacles. That's a springtiming card. Again, we got about that 8 weeks, right? New beginnings are all over spring for you all, okay? And this is something that can really grow. It's tangible. It's a tangible new beginning. It's a real fucking offer, okay? It's something you can stand on. It's financial abundance, you know? It's security, stability. It's, you know, really having something where I'm getting home. I see this roots energy here. Home. I feel like this has something to do with home. It's coming in really strong, okay? I feel like this is laying down roots, setting up home, having a new beginning, you know? Move could be a possibility. This looks confirmed too here with this. Oh, yes, move. Definitely. There's a high possibility for a move coming in the spring. And I see this because this Eight of Cups energy is also moving away from what no longer works, like walking away from what you invested a lot of energy in. Let's talk about the Eight of Cups for a minute, okay? The Eight of Cups is not an easy energy to digest, all right? It's when you realize that you have invested your energy for a long time in something that is not going to manifest in the way that you thought it would. And it's a disappointment. But at the same time, you've come to understand your value and you want something more and you want something better for yourself and you know that you're worth it. And so you invest in yourself and you invest in the path of the unknown and growth and spiritual opening, you know, a new direction. It's like the fool's journey, right? And you fucking build a bridge, okay? And you get the fuck over those troubled waters. You just let it be fucking water under the bridge and you move forward and you walk away from that investment. It's a radical departure, okay? But it's also movement, right? Journey, movement. You might be going on a trip. Maybe you will do some traveling and in your travels you'll find this place that you're like, this is it. This is where I want to live. And you'll put down roots there. These are all possibilities, but right backing that up is a confirmation card with that Eight of Wands energy right there, okay? which is, you know, what we opened up with, these opportunities coming in, travel possibilities, you know, the arrows of love, messages. All right, I'm just gonna look at the top of the deck energy here. Yeah, it's like right now you might be in, you know, this Five of Pentacles energy where you're thinking about everything that you don't have, you know, and there's kind of this need. It's really important, especially for those who carry a lot of earth energy. There is really a need to be grateful, to practice gratitude. You know, I recommend starting like a little gratitude journal, or you can even use social media that way. You know, I've done that before where like I went for a certain time period and, you know, every day I'd post on social media like three things I'm grateful for, you know, and that kind of is like the spirit that this reading opened with, right? Like, how are you contributing to the energy? Social media is kind of coming in, okay? So how are you contributing your energy on social media? Is your rhetoric part of supporting division, or is your rhetoric about bringing people together, being positive, lifting people up, you know, bringing in that energy of that like unity, right? That rainbow warrior message that came in the start, okay? You know, it's like when you feel like you've been left out of spirit's plan, when you feel